Staying stocked up, staying prepared, and staying frugal is so important right now so that we can have an enjoyable life. We all know costs are going up, but planning and shopping strategy and being on our toes and being a good manager of our household makes a total 100% turnaround difference. So I'm going to show you some of the things I have been doing this week to save money as I'm preparing for our vacation to Florida. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. I live in Kansas on a farm and I have a donkey. This is Brownie. I have frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me this year as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. I've been home for not quite a couple of weeks, and we have a vacation to Florida planned, as I have mentioned to you guys in the last few months. I had to do some things for my brother in the nursing home. I've had to make a couple of 40-mile round trips to the nursing home to get him taken care of because his bank changed names and a bunch of things like that. And then we started preparing for our trip to Florida. That means I need to get medications filled after being in Texas for 3 months. I need to stock up on a few things that I know that we used while I was gone and before the prices go up again. And I need to start thinking ahead as to how we can save some money on our vacation on food. I know that there is a Tom Thumb down there in that area that is a grocery store. I'm not sure what the prices will be like because it is a tourist area. So I planned ahead and I picked up one of these little boxes of sweetener that I put in my coffee. It's in packets, so I can bring it on the plane and put it in my carry-on. I got it on clearance for $3, and then I had a 75-cent coupon off at Dillon's, making this $2.25 so that I don't have to buy it in the tourist area. I also got my medications filled at Dillon's. As you know, I've shared I have a Kroger savings plan that is $36 a year. I got 3 of my medications filled that needed refilled since I'd been in Texas for 3 months. And with insurance, they would have been $76.49. But with my Kroger savings plan, they were $16.85, and that is for 90 days. So I saved almost $60 by having that Kroger savings plan. It cost me $36, and I can have savings like that every 3 months. And I have a few other meds that I didn't need filled yet that I will also save money on. So I save a lot of money on my medications by doing that. I make sure before I go to Texas that they are all filled because I can't get prices like this down there because this is on that savings plan for Dillon's. There's not a Kroger or a Dillon's where I stay. So that pockets me a lot of extra money. And then I had to run to town to do a mystery shop. I squeezed in one of those so I could get some extra money. It will give me another 2 servings of food over the next few days that I can eat here at home that won't cost me anything. And then I will get reimbursed for the food and also get paid for doing the small report that takes about 10 minutes. I combined my errands while I was doing my mystery shopping to get my medicines, to get a couple of things like that on my list, including going to the Asian grocery store that I love. It has some of the cheapest prices on ground pork, and as you know, we use that in our cooking these days to save money. I stopped by my favorite Asian store now that I'm home. We just needed a few things. As I've told you, we've switched to pork instead of ground turkey, ground hamburger, anything like that because it's cheaper. I saw that it went up to $2.49 a pound at the Asian market. It was $2.19 a pound, but at Walmart it's $3.49 a pound. So this is still a really good deal. And then I try to get packages that are as close to a pound as possible. And then we just split them in half. And then we make spaghetti, stir fries, and chili, all kinds of things that we would normally use those other meats in. And then I picked up some of my ramen noodles. And I know a lot of people think these are not healthy, but they are a quick meal sometimes for me at lunch. I got some pork, I got some veggie flavored, and these packages are actually smaller than the bigger packages. The bigger packages were normally 79 cents, or I was getting them in 12 packs for $4.99. Well, the vegetable ones I've been getting for $4.99, they were all gone. And these are only 59 cents. And when I did the math, and yes, I do the math, these were a penny less per ounce. And then I add some of my fresh grown Swiss chard. I even added some dandelion petals the last time I made it, and some of my homegrown celery. And these are my little helpers outside. We did have 12 cats. Now we are down to 6 again. I feel like outdoor cats are so important. They keep away our snakes, they keep our mice population down low. Plus, we really enjoy them. They are all so sweet. And with us living out here in the country, we have coyotes we can hear in our living room. We have foxes, we have other predators, and sometimes if the cats don't stay next to the house, they do just disappear. So that is one of the sad facts of having some outdoor cats in the country to keep down the snakes and the mice. But those larger ramen noodles, they used to be 79 cents. They're now 89 cents each. And I'm seeing prices start to go up. Now, I've been away from this area for 3 months and I know those prices very well. So I'm very aware when I came back and I started noticing a 10-cent increase and a 30-cent increase. And I could tell by the prices I was seeing in Texas that I was not going to be surprised to see that when I got back home, unfortunately. Next part of my routine is to do the survey on the bottom of my Dillon's receipt that gives me 50 points towards a gas discount. And I also have one of those on the bottom of my pharmacy receipt. You can only do one every 7 days, but I found if I leave these stacked by my desk and I haven't been to town and I just do one this week and I do one next week, they will both count and they will both go through. And then I take pictures on all of my rebate apps that I have in my description box to help build up enough credit for either gift cards or money that I can cash to my PayPal account. And those are some of the things I do every time I shop because those receipts are worth either a penny or 2 pennies or more pennies, depending on if something on your receipt is a special that they're running on one of the rebate sites. And I had misspoke. That 75 cents that I got off on this at Dillon's was actually an Ibotta rebate. So I check my Ibotta, I check my digital coupons, I check every single thing that I possibly can to get those pennies, dimes, and nickels back. And one of the digital coupons on Ibotta this week was 10 cents off any grocery purchase. So I got 85 cents when I bought this instead of 75. And those little amounts add up because when I'm ready to cash it in and I get $5 or $10 or something like that back into my account, you can bet that that helps me. And then Dillon's also has cash back, which some grocery stores have. I had $3 sitting there in my cash back that I can either apply towards my next purchase or download to my PayPal and just get it back in cash. So there's lots of ways to save money when you're shopping if you do some of these little things that a lot of people will say, I just don't have time to do it. But I feel like they make a difference. They add up to several $100s every year for me in our household of two. So I can imagine how much they would add up for a family of four or six or something like that. And they do make a difference because $10 is half a tank of gas for me. So I do all of those small things. Now, we are taking flights where a checked bag is $35. We do not check bags. We will be rolling our items to fit them into carry-ons, and then we will be taking our carry-ons so that we don't pay anything extra. We have already prepaid for where we're staying. It's an older resort. It is cheaper. We booked it months ago before the prices went up again. And they have a lot of free things right there that we can do. And there's other free things in town we can do. And there's other sightseeing things we can do. So we've already decided that we will be having our breakfast there in the resort in our room. We will cook it. We will go out to eat one time a day. We will save half of that for the next meal because we're both trying to lose weight and right now it's working. So we don't want to poke the lion with a stick by eating out too much on vacation. So that will make our vacation very affordable. And that is part of our plan going to Florida. Now, I will give you some clips of that when I get back and take you with me, of course. And then I'm going to have about a 2-day turnaround, and I'm going to be heading to North Carolina to stay with a grandchild while my kids take a vacation. So this summer is going to be extraordinarily fun for travel for me. I won't be home a whole lot, but as you've seen from my husband in the last video, we are okay with that. He knows I'm going to stay with grandchildren. It's not a problem. And when I was doing my shop today, I overheard the couple in the next booth, and I heard the husband say, "Well, if you can't get off work, I'm going anyway." And the way he said it was just so sad that I heard him say that to her, making me feel like he didn't care enough to wait until she could do it with him, or she could make arrangements, or he would shift his vacation. My husband, absolutely. We would make sure that we could go together if it was something important that we both needed to go together on, like this trip to Florida. I wouldn't take a flight and stay in a resort and do this stuff without him. I might take some car trips, but as you know, I'm very frugal with those car trips. I sleep in my car, I take my own food, and I'm very, very frugal on those trips. So they basically just cost me gas and just a tiny bit of food along the way and on the way back. But we do big vacations like this together. We haven't been on one like this for 3 years. So we're really looking forward to this. But when we can save money in small ways on this vacation, we know we can go again because we haven't shot our wad. And that's how we look at it. So are frugal vacations worth it? We totally think so because that means we can go and plan to go again. And I would rather go several times and go frugal than go one big time and then pay on it for 2 or 3 years until I could go again. But that's just how we look at it, and we're okay with that. I have grandkids that are in soccer. I have grandkids that are in ballet. I have grandkids that play baseball several times a week. And all of these grandkids are an hour one way and an hour back to all of their events. So, me doing these small things makes it where I can afford to do all of these things. When you're a parent, you do a lot of running, and that running adds up. But when you're a grandparent, if you want to be there for your grandkids' events, that also adds up. And that's not always something that we think about when we add that to our retirement budget. But this is some of the ways that I help afford the gas so that I don't have to miss any of those events. And by the way, I have a soccer game squeezed in this weekend. So I just wanted to share with you what a normal week looks like for me, how I look at saving money as a rule every single day in most everything that I do, because I feel like it pays off big in the long run. It pays off big when we take vacations. It pays off big when I look into ways I can save money on my medicine. It pays off big when I check those digital coupons and I look for rebates and I snap pictures of receipts. It gives me wiggle room as an early retired person on a low income so that I constantly maybe have an influx of $5, $10, or things like that here and there that do make a difference on the things that I can do. And I don't have to just stay home all the time. So I hope that this was helpful to someone today. I hope to see you in the next video. Give me a thumbs up, and I hope to see you soon.